Minister, Artanisht, I'm very glad to get the opportunity to raise a number of concerns that people in Kerry and Killarney have in relation to the massive amount of Ukrainians who have been placed in hotels and guest houses around the country. Over 35% of hotel beds are actually taken up in the town of Killarney alone. Killarney people, and indeed all Kerry people, have worked together for almost 150 years to bring the tourism product to where it is or was today. But as a result of a shortage of beds, there has been a serious reduction in footfall. Many small restaurants, pub, coffee shops, craft shops are struggling. 6 are already closed in Killarney, 4 in Killorglin, and more in many other places. I'm asking the government to address this serious situation immediately. In relation to housing, I'm asking for a very serious anomaly to be addressed. If you are a local Killarney or Kerry person seeking to rent a private house, the only help you will get from the state is HAP or RAS, which many house owners won't entertain. But if you are a Ukrainian, the house owner will get €800 per month tax-free. So local Kerry and Irish people haven't to hope to compete against that. I want the same tax exemption to apply to our own people trying to rent as well. We have no homeless centre now in Killarney. Homeless people have to go to Tralee. I don't have to say who's in it now. I know the law is changing for refugees who arrive here from now on in relation to social welfare payments. But all those who have arrived up until now and get the same social welfare payments as Irish people, we are told they all have got a medical card and all the entitlements that come with having a medical card. Many of our own local people, even those who are sick and ill, won't qualify. I want the same benefits and conditions to be made available to our own Irish people. They should all get the same ophthalmology and dental treatments as well. School transport. For as long as I can remember, to qualify for free school transport, your child had to be more than 2 miles from the nearest primary school. This is not the case for Ukrainian children. They are all driven by transport to the national schools at no limit on distance. They get free transport. Take the care of Killarney or secondary school students who have been going to Killorglin for years. They don't get free school transport. But the Ukrainian children do, and there's 11 on one bus. And there was 13 Killarney children that I asked to be allowed to go on the bus to make up the 24 seats. It is a 24-seater bus. This bus is organised by the Minister for Education. I asked that the local 13 children be taken on this bus, but my request was turned down. I want our own people and children to get the same consideration as anyone else when it comes to school transport.
First of all, I would say to the Deputy, in respect of the situation with Ukrainians in this country, first of all, Russia invaded Ukraine savagely, illegally, in my view, immorally, and violated the UN Charter in so doing, bombed towns and cities and civilian infrastructure. And I can recall the scenes at the time when the war started of families packing trains, of fathers and husbands saying goodbye to their loved ones. It's all documented. And it led to the largest displacement of European citizens since World War II. I think up to 12 million people displaced. Now, Irish people welcomed Ukrainians into their country. And these are refugees. The majority were women and children without strong incomes, and were part of a European directive, which Europe as a whole said we will look after Ukrainian people who are fleeing war. So the position that you've adopted is to try and contrast that, I think very unfairly and wrongly, if I may say so, Deputy, with respect, to the normal situation here in terms of entitlements to health services and education services. Refugees fleeing war, I think it's a correct and basic humanitarian response to try and do the best we can to facilitate people who are fleeing war in an obvious situation where apartment blocks were being bombed and so forth. And in terms of the €800, I'm very surprised you've referenced that, because the people, those people who get that volunteered their houses, many weren't actually looking for any €800, and that's a month, by the way. But I think the government felt that there would, over time, be costs attached to it in terms of repairs. In some instances, the Red Cross would say, or the local authority would say, you have to bring the building up to a certain standard, or make sure that the electrics are right, and so on like that. And it was fair to say to people who have made their homes their own homes, houses that they had, or whatever. And in some cases, people have brought people into their own homes, and let them have a roof, or a room, sorry, or an access to the wider house. So that's the context of that €800, and that's not going to be extended beyond its provision for people who said, look, I have a spare property or whatever, I'm going to make it available for people who are fleeing war. And the state said, that's very decent of you to do that. We'll help you in terms of €800. That's the context of that. And to try and sort of say, well, everybody should get it now, I think, on same terms, is not comparing like with like at all. The rent-a-room scheme does exist. We brought that in for anyone out there who could rent a room out to any person seeking accommodation, which is creates significant tax reliefs. And on the school front, we should pay tribute to our schools for the manner in which they've accommodated so many Ukrainian children and integrated them into our system.
Listen, Taoiseach, I have no problem with the Ukrainian people or any people from any other part of the world. And don't any one of you over there or over here behind me say that I have any gripe with any of them. The gripe I have is with you and the government. If you were able to give €800 tax-free to one section of the society, you should be able to do it for the others as well. Because Irish people, Kerry people, can't compete for a private house when the house owner is going to get €800 tax-free. How could that be fair? And in relation to the other things, I've no spite in the world for the Ukrainian people. I've no gripe at all to tease out with them. But it's with you. I want the same conditions applied across the board in relation to the medical card, in relation to the school transport. It is happening. And the 13 children that I'm talking about, they wouldn't be left on the bus. They have to wait in Killearn for a half an hour for the rural link bus to come along, and they're drowned wet and perish in the cold of the winter. And you said to me that I shouldn't be raising these things. I'll make no apology for raising these things on behalf of the people of Kerry or Killarney or any part of the country. And if you can't see it going on in Cork, maybe you can, because we're all over the world, and maybe you have to be. But I can tell you it is happening in Cork, the very same as in Kerry, and all I want for the people of Kerry is fair play. I have no gripe at all with the Ukrainian people. Don't anyone here say that I have?
Deputy, we're way over time. Please.
First of all, I didn't say you had. And secondly, I didn't say you should.
I shouldn't have been raised.
I didn't. Never said it. Go back. No, go back over the banks. No, you want to create a drama, and you want to create false assertions that I said you shouldn't. No, because this is a new trope going around that we have no right to raise these issues. I've seen it everywhere. I have never said, and I'd invited you to go back over the blanks, as we say, of this exchange, and I challenge you to go back and find the sentence. No, sorry, no. Deputy, I didn't interrupt you. What I'm trying to say, Deputy, I'm saying you made a false assertion that I said I should not. You said, you will let me reply, please, through the chair. You said that I didn't. I said you shouldn't have raised it. I didn't say that. I did not say that at all.
You did say it.
No, I did. Well, check it. I asked you to go and check it.
No, we're not doing this, please. Thank you. Taoiseach, through the chair.
Yeah, and I will simply say, first of all, on the medical card, by the way, for Ukrainians, that's means tested after 9 months of being in the country. There's a rent-a-room scheme for 14,000 tax-free earnings already existing for Kerry people and for everybody. The line about, sorry, you can't compete with 800 a month doesn't tally with me, because that 800 is not for properties in the rental market. It's for people who decided of their own free will, if they had a spare property, to say, I'm making that available to a Ukrainian family because they're fleeing war. People made that decision out of the generosity in their hearts. I'm not going to second guess the generosity of Irish citizens who did that. And the state feels, let's give them some support. 800 a month is not comparable to any rent anywhere. So it's a helping hand to those who generously gave of their properties.